Today we're visiting Big Brutus, the largest electric shovel still in existence. And believe it or not, there was ones that were even bigger. And that's really hard to believe once you get up to this thing. So Brutus was built by the Bucyrus Erie company, and the model's an 1850B or E, I'm not quite sure. But this thing weighs an astounding 11 million pounds. And the shovel on this thing, once we get up to it, you'll see, can pick up, I think it was 90 yards, or 90 cubic yards, which is like 150 tons of coal. That's what this thing was used for, was for digging coal. And believe it or not, in southeast Kansas, there was coal country at one time. So Brutus was in operation from, I think, 1963 to about 1974. And I do believe it got to the point where it was almost not profitable running it just because of the electricity costs. And you'll see in the picture coming up of the cable that ran this thing. This thing was fully electric, and it is massive. I'm not quite sure the voltage on it, but that cable was dragged behind that machine. And I think the track speed on this, they say, was 0.22 miles per hour. So she was a slow mover. But this thing could really move some coal. And that's what they were doing here. These weren't like normal coal mines where you think of going inside of a mountain. This was strip mining, so all surface level.
She's a nice old girl.
Come over here and just take our picture from there.
Okay.
So if you've seen right there, me looking up at the mast, I think they said that's 160 feet to the top of that mast. And they say when this museum first opened, they used to allow people to go up to the top of that thing. Which, man, that would be pretty neat. But, you know, safety, I suppose. But it's several flights of stairs to get up the top. So I don't think there's any handicap access up there. But like I said, it's a little walk, but definitely worth going to look at. Rotator on that. Look at that. I'm assuming these are all grease spots. Lots of electricity in here, right?
I know, they built this very good.
So up in here is pretty much where the magic happens. There would have been a bunch of electric motors running these winches. You can see back here in the green. And I wish this guy that's standing here, he knew a lot about this shovel, this Big Brutus in general. I think he either worked in mines or used to work on these. I'm not quite sure, but if you see where this exit sign is, I'm pretty sure there was motors sitting here, and they were scrapped. I mean, there is a bunch of copper in those things. I mean, you got to get what you can out of it. The company that owned it before, I mean, as much money as they spent on this thing, it was supposed to run for over 25 years, and they only ran it for 10, so they probably had to recoup some of the costs. Matter of fact, I don't know if you can see it down in there, but you can still see some of the electrical leads that came up to the motors. Those hold the superstructure in. Look at the size of that wire. All right, let's get this thing fired up. We got a lot of work to do.
Hang on, buddy.
I can meet you guys down there. This is probably one of the gearboxes with another motor. This is probably to rotate it. Not much cable left. Huh. Here's the brakes.
Yep, and it doesn't really run very
It
well.
was all electric.
This one?
Should be able to come out here to the operator's cab. Please close door upon leaving this room. Just wait. Has he been in here yet?
This is how he did it. All through. Isn't that cool?
Jason.
Jason's room were the only areas on Big Brutus that were air conditioned.
Whoa.
Let's fire her up.
I'm gonna fire her up.
Yep.
We got here, we got swing brake, crowd brake, hoist brake, emergency stop, retract. I don't know what that, it's probably actually run the bucket. That's probably to drive, I think. Maybe. Heater, air compressor. That's crazy. A heck of a superstructure. Here's the oiler. This is what lubricated everything.
This one.
Power.
Emergency disconnect.
Yeah, watch your head, Derek. You only want to pull that switch if you really need to. That's why they got the rubber here. Be careful. So this is a switch. Here's a bunch of contacts. Here's some metering, so they could get their ampacity metering, so they had some feedback in the cab. Here's some resistors for some motor and drive up there in the unit. I've seen this thing working. I've seen some big ones working, but I haven't seen one this big.
Makes you wonder what it would have sounded like with it all
It was
electric.
loud in
Was it
there,
still loud?
with all the electric motors.
Right.
And hydraulics. It was loud in here.
This was all AC car.
Copper.
We're lucky to even get to see it and hasn't been scrapped.
Well, I think that they were thinking about scrapping it, and I think somebody realized that it really is a historic artifact.
Right.
So here's a whole bunch of other electric shutoffs over here, guys. These are called T-handles. And lock out. This was locked. And then that's your resistor bank. That's how you break this thing from left to right, forward to back. They used resistors as a braking method on the motors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And on hoist, mine hoist, and these are the drives. It's the gearbox drives for the tracks back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This thing walked.
So right here is actually in front of the Big Brutus, and this was one of the strip mines. I don't know how deep that is. It could be anywhere from 10 to like 50 feet deep. I'm not quite sure the digging depth of Big Brutus, but it was quite substantial. But in that lake/pond, there is probably still some coal down there. But that's the tour for Big Brutus. But now we'll go check out a couple other really cool shovels they have here that is definitely worth going to look at. Fire it up! Get her fired up! About the drag line? Oh, she's got a big old kitty cat in her.
Gonna get the shaft working. Okay. Wrapping around this. Okay, let's drive.
All right, get her fired up, Jim. Little power generator. Oh yeah, she's all air operated. So this here was a homemade rig built for finding coal seams, basically. And this guy named last name of Perry hand built this. As you can see, it's on Model T wheels, and it's got a 6-horse Widdy on there. And there's other hit and miss engine parts, Model T parts, all sorts of stuff. And I tell you what, I give the guy props. This thing, honestly, is probably my favorite thing at the museum. It's so unique. And it just goes to show, like, you know, back in the day, guys just worked with what they had. And the story is with this, coal companies would hire this guy to come down and basically use his little drilling rig to, I guess, find coal seams. So, I don't know, pretty sweet setup. That's a sweet rig. Well, I tell you what, this is definitely worth going to. Even if it's way out of your way, I mean, this is the biggest electric shovel in existence. I mean, there were bigger ones, but this is the biggest one that exists. And it is the pictures don't do it justice. When you get there, it's way bigger, trust me. Definitely worth going. But I'll tell you, throughout the shovel, when you're walking through it, there are plaques that explain a lot of things. I really didn't have time to read them. We were entertaining our 7-year-old child at the time, so definitely worth going there. Also, too, they have events here. They have concerts. You can bring your RV and stay the night. They got hookups, so it's quite the nice little park to go to. So I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.